Hello everybody and welcome to your daily analysis. I'm your Go Market Analyst Adam Karlberg, and today we are going to be having a look at the natural gas chart. So as we can see, natural gas in recent times has been on a bit of a tear, and some of the reasons for this have been some of the macroeconomic reasons that natural gas and the price of natural gas has been rising so quickly has been, firstly, there's been a big move towards electric vehicles and clean energy, and that has led to a decline in the US production of coal and other fossil fuel energies, which has put more reliance on natural gas. In addition, there's been record high export prices and even more supply pressure placed on the globe because of the Russia and Ukraine crisis. Russia is one of the largest exporters of natural gas, and that is both to Western and Eastern Europe. And what that has meant is that the US has had to supplement or offset some of that supply. So what this has done is put a lot of pressure on the supply chains, and therefore we've seen quite a big rise in natural gas prices. So as we have a look at the chart, we're going to first have a look at the longer term. We're first going to have a look at the longer term natural gas chart. So as we can see, it peaked in the early 2000s in 2005 and also 2007. And it peaked at about $15. Now since then it's found a nice base at around $2 to $5 where it's been consolidating. And this is up until recent times, and that's looking at the 3 monthly. If we move it over to the monthly chart, and that's up until recent times, we've seen this level at about $6.50 US being quite a strong resistance level. So we saw we were able to get close to that level in February 2014. And since then, we've kind of been, as I said, basing around that $2 to $3, $2 to $4 level. In recent months, basically towards the end of last year, we've been able to touch that 6.45 level before pulling back and consolidating. Another thing that we can see, which is quite important, is that large amount of volume coming in late 2018 to 2019. And that really pushed us out of that base level at $2. So as we zoom in a little bit closer, we can see that in the last couple of months, we've had this big push up in September last year, and then we had that pullback, and we bounced off the 200 moving average. In addition, what we can see is that we do have almost like a speeding up of the 50 period moving average as it tends, and the 200 period moving average is starting to slow down, which is a really strong sign that the bulls are starting to take over. And we can see this kind of upward trend and upward move here. Just over here, we can see this upward move, and this can be contrast with the downward slope of the 200 period moving average. So we've got a bit of a divergence there. As we exit out, we move a little bit closer into the daily chart, and we have a look a little bit more at that daily chart. Oops. Just bear with me 1 second. So as we can see, again, we've had this really strong move up, a pullback, and now as we can see, we've had this coiling of the chart. So we've got a couple of higher lows, and each time we've been able to really push through that next level of resistance. So this level here and this level here were quite important to be broken. And as we can see down, if we look a little bit lower, just bear with me again. We've got some really strong volume at this point, and also at this next point. Where are we going? And also at this point here. Oops. Now that's why it was really important for this recent move up to take those out. The other thing that we can see is that we've had this recent increase in volume coming in. And this has probably been in the last week. And the volume's been increasing, and up until the point where we've been able to touch this multi-year high at $6.50, $6.60 almost. So as we start to look a little bit closer, we can see that we had this very strong volume bar, this nice and strong this candlestick, which is quite very encouraging. And I suppose the next thing we would like to see is probably a consolidation before we attempt to break through this long-term resistance. Now, there should be quite a lot of resistance, as this has provided, a bit of a struggle for the buyers to get through. But if we are able to see this price shoot up, then there's quite a bit of space before that next longer period or that longer level of resistance we would be looking at potentially closing this gap maybe either to $9.50 or even higher to closer to $15. But again, there's quite a bit of chop to get through before we are able to go through that level. Whoops. So, I suppose what this represents is quite a few potential trading opportunities. Whether you think this is going to be a good short or a good, a short off the resistance or potentially a breakthrough, natural gas prices should be climbing in the future due to the concerns we expressed at the start. Natural gas is on offer for our Go Markets customers on the MetaTrader 5 platform. And thank you very much.